Hi guys, Lizzy Flowers here. Welcome back to my channel. I am filming from my bed tonight because I've had a really long day. It's about 9 o'clock tonight and I have a lot of stuff to do in the morning. So I figured, what better place than my bed? So today I'm going to be talking about what to do when you're feeling overwhelmed, you have too many things to do, and you're so overwhelmed that you don't even know where to start. I'm going to talk about what to do if you're overwhelmed more generally, but if you have specific situations like family emergencies or someone in your family is consistently ill and you have to ask for extensions on a regular basis, I'm going to post all of those letters on my blog, thelizzyflowers.com. thelizzyflowers.com. So if you want specific letters and you really don't know what to do, you can just copy and paste them from my blog. The first thing you have to do is write everything down. So if you're a handwritten person and you like doing that stuff, then write it down on a piece of paper. If you're an online type of person, I recommend using Kanban Flow, Kanbanflow.com. And for one person, it's free. If you want to incorporate multiple users, you have to pay. I find that really easy. It helps you prioritize your tasks. So write all of your tasks down and then decide which ones should you really do right now. Which ones are kind of important in a time sense. So for example, if you decided that you were going to Skype with your parents at 10 p.m., that's something that's urgent. And if you talk to your parents a few times a week, that does not mean it's important. So just because it's coming up, the deadline is coming up quickly, the time that you have to do it by is coming up quickly, does not make it important, and that's very important to separate. Something that's important might be that you have a report due in a week, but it's supposed to be 20 pages long. So that's something that's not urgent, but it is important to get started, and it is important to hand it in on time. So once you have your list, you should look at the things that you feel are stressing you out and decide which ones are urgent and which ones are important and which ones are both. And the ones that are both urgent and important are the things you need to do right now. Those start now. And if you're like me and you take on too many classes or you go to school and you work and you have a lot going on at home, I have 4 animals, my boyfriend has 2 kids, and I have school and work and sometimes an internship also. So I don't always have all of those things going on at once, but I often have a large chunk of them going on all at the same time. So I have learned how to ask for an extension. And I actually wrote one down for you guys, just to literally give you word for word what I say. So you don't ask. You request it, but you don't ask it in a question. Because if you're asking it a question, you're saying, I can get it done, I just don't want to. If you're requesting it, you're saying, I really apologize, I can't get it done, I hope you will grant me the extension so that I can get credit for this class because I feel that your class is important. And it is important that you include the fact that you like the class or you feel the class deserves the attention. Teachers love that. Yes, it makes you a suck-up for one email. Just do it. It works. Dear Professor, I hope you are having a great week! ! I am writing because I have multiple papers due in the span of a few days, and I am worried I cannot get it all done. I would greatly appreciate an extension so that I may give the final paper and your class the attention it deserves. Sincerely, Lizzy Flowers. So that's a little bit more brief than I would normally make it, but it really shouldn't be more than maybe a couple sentences longer than that. I might add in a couple details, so if I knew that they had gone out of town for the weekend, I might mention that, because giving the person that you're asking something from some attention actually helps, because it recognizes that you're not just asking for things, you actually appreciate the person. If you're having a family emergency or a recurring illness in your family and you need to send emails about that, I'm going to talk more in my blog about how to do all that. It's just really too long to put in a video. So thelizzyflowers.com, I will put it in there, and you have all of the sample emails and what to do if it's a recurring illness versus just a one-time issue. Overall, it's really important to understand that your mental and physical health is just more important than any one assignment. So you should never be thinking about your assignments in terms of the next week or in terms of even the next month. What you should really be doing is looking at the broader picture. If you're really overwhelmed, try to see everything in the bigger picture. If you fail chemistry, or you fail calculus, or you fail some other ridiculously hard subject, well, at least it's hard for me, in the long term, the worst that can happen is you have to retake that class. So even if that means your graduation isn't official or something like that, don't worry about it. In the long term, your health, both mentally and physically, is way more important, and that will really do you well over the period of your life. You'll become more successful because you're taking care of yourself and you're doing it in a sustainable way. And you can sustain the amount of stress that you're having because you're constantly decreasing it by managing the amount of work that you have and spreading it out over a more realistic time period. So I have to add, and I know that there's a few people like this out there because I've been in classes with them, some people just don't try that hard in class, and I don't know why that is. Maybe because they don't care, maybe because they don't respond well to pressure. I'm not sure why that is. But you should not overuse these excuses. You should not overuse the excuses, because if you overuse them, then you're not going to be granted the extensions. And if it's a Sunday and you're really sick and you actually need that extension and you've been crying wolf because you've been partying too much or staying up late or procrastinating your work, then the teacher's eventually going to recognize that, not give you the extension, and it's really severely going to affect your grades. And while an emergency affecting your grades is something that you should be totally okay with, you should not beat yourself up about it. But if you're making bad decisions and it's affecting your grades, then don't expect the teacher to give you extensions, because they are smart, they do recognize that. I've talked a lot about school extensions, and I will talk more about work extensions and about how to say no to your boss, which can be very difficult. I will talk about that in my blog, but it's too long for this video. I know this video is already going to be 10 minutes. If you're in an overwhelming situation and you don't know what to do, let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to help. Hit the subscribe button if you want more videos like this, and don't be too hard on yourself, guys. Bye, guys. Okay, so we have one side comment, one blooper. So this little guy sometimes brings in sticks, or he eats something he's not supposed to, and he throws it up on the rug. And I have an admission. I have had so many assignments due the next day. I have just let his puke sit on the rug for a couple days because I just didn't have time to clean it up, because it was neither urgent or important. Anyways, don't feel bad. No one's perfect. Adults aren't perfect. Even those people that look absolutely put together all the time, you know their makeup sink is a mess. You know it. Or if they're a guy, that they didn't get all the shaved hair off the sink. Don't worry.